Did we hit the right button? I hope we wrote. Did we hit it? I think we did. It's Saturday, people. March 24th. That's what today is. And there's marches going all around the country, all around the world today. There's people out marching in the street. Thank you, Joe. Makes me know somebody's out there watching. Had a little difficulty. I had to restart my whole computer to get this thing to work, so I'm a few minutes behind. But I don't have anything today. My board is right here from yesterday. So I don't have anything written down. I got my notebook, but that's about it. I just wanted to come on today and I don't know, let y'all know just exactly how proud I am of what I see going on all across the United States and around the world today. That's just, it's heartwarming to watch these kids get up there and speak. And Mama's not too happy right now. She was watching the live feed a little while ago, and she was very upset with the amount of haters that were coming through the live feed there. And that's just pitiful. They're going to show up. People don't have anything better to do to try to badmouth these kids up there. They'll come out of the woodwork. There's cockroaches all over the place. Anyway, what a beautiful day it is for America to see all those people out there. I was watching them on the TV, speaking up there in Washington. I was so impressed when Emma Gonzalez got up there to speak, and she didn't speak. And it took 6 minutes and 20 seconds for her to finish her speech. 6 minutes and 20 seconds of silence up there on that stage. At first, I didn't catch it. What's she waiting on? And it dawned on me. I bet it's for the time it took for that shooter in that school. And that's what it was, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. So she stood silent. And that's how long it took to take 17 lives. And that's pitiful. And it speaks to our nation. And these kids are standing up there trying to force change. And I see today, hi, Candy. How you doing? Candy Guidry, that's our main admin over there at JBS, John Bernabo Speaks, Blue Dot Family. I'm so proud of that organization over there, what they're doing with that page. I'm proud to have my name associated with what they're doing over there. So, hi, Candy. I know Joe Riddle's there. Kathy Miller, how you doing? Amy Donahue, I see you. Anyway, what was I fixing to say? See, there you go live, and you just lose a thought for a second, baby, and you're out of it. What was I? Oh, well, anyway. It was a thought. It'll come back later. I did see where Obama put out a tweet in his and Michelle's support for the kids and all the people marching out in the streets today. And he said that you're leading us forward. And I'm proud of that. These kids, and like we was up there talking, my son and I, Mama, and for every kid that you see out there, there's an adult there probably too. Mom and Daddy probably came to that march with them. So there's a lot of people out there supporting these kids. Paul McCartney was in the crowd. And I think he said something to the effect of one of his best friends was killed by gun violence. And we all know who that is, John Lennon. And what a loss for the world that the day we lost that man. And but Obama went on to say, nothing can stand in the way of millions of voices calling for change. And he's right. He was right when he ran the first time. He's right now. The more voices that come out in the street and raise their concerns, the less they can ignore us. And they have been ignoring us, baby, because I seen just, when was it? Yesterday, maybe late, Donnie came out with a tweet or something that the Department of Justice today was going to issue the rule for bump stocks with a mandated comment period. This is the bump stocks are a result of Las Vegas. Look how long it has been since Las Vegas. And they are just now getting the bump stock issue going. And they're going to have a mandatory period of, people get to comment before it's another delay. They love to delay shit. We have to have a committee and we have to discuss this and we have to put the language down and blah, blah, blah.
The greatest president that God ever created.
Shut up, Donnie. came on when I hit that bump. But I'm going to be on the Tim Corey Mall show tomorrow again. I love being on Tim's show. Tim right now is marching out in Washington, D.C. I'm proud of him. He is out holding a sign, I guess. But tomorrow I'm going to be on his show, and I look forward to it all the time. But Obama's right. Obama's right. That's where I was. That the millions of voices. Oh, shut up. No, you won't. Donnie, we're just going to have to, I forgot he was on. You have to turn that little thing off every time this thing shakes. So bubble mouth there, just idiot jerk face, says something. And then I slapped Donnie's doll over here. Y'all can't see that in the picture over here, but I got Donnie's doll right here, all right, where it always is. Anyway, where was I? Terry Hawkins. Donnie boy was silent. Yeah, I think he's down in Mar-a-Lago today. You know he ain't going to hang around and listen to this. He's going to give some nice, kind words, probably. Oh, we support the students, when no, he doesn't. That's where I was going. You think they're doing anything up there? They stall and delay as much as they can. Talk around it. They'll lose their memory pretty soon, and they won't remember this until the next time. We don't want another time. That's why these kids are out in the street now, is they're trying to stop the next time. But there's people that's going to stand in the way because, like I've said before, some people in this country has elevated the Second Amendment into a religion, and that defiles their own religion. When they're talking about God and guns, I don't know how the two coincide together, but that's where their mindset is, and that's where those haters come from. It's a religion to them, and enough, baby, enough. We've had enough. It's been going on way too long. I do remember thinking to myself this morning, these are the young people standing up. These are the young, and they can force change. We did it back in the late 60s and early 70s, baby. Those were the young people in the street then demanding answers from a president who lied to them, for a president that had just fired his special prosecutor. The same kind of crap Donnie's trying to do now. We were the young kids back then. And it made me proud then, and it makes me proud now. And I hope they realize just how much power they hold in their hand. And I heard some of them speaking this morning, and it was very powerful. These kids are talking about voting, registering people to vote. They are not going to let this die. They're not going to let it fade off into the background. They're going to get other kids involved. And like I said yesterday, these are the ones close to voting age. You don't think those 14 and 15-year-olds are paying attention? Well, then you're just playing crazy, because they are paying attention. And they're slowly creeping up. This generation coming up now, they want to take the reins, baby. And I hope they do. And anyway, I'm rambling on. Tricia Ori. Most people today, then this. I lost that question, baby. Janda, how you doing, darling? We've gotten shirts and stuff from Janda. Love this live rants. I do kind of like it myself. I've told y'all before, because it's less work for me, because I get to do this live, and then once I'm done, I'm done. Whereas before we used to have to do it by camera and go up and look at the film to make sure I didn't flub something up, and then squash it down into a smaller file, put a title on it, and put it up, and then wait for it to upload, and it took forever. This way, it's a lot easier, and we seem to be getting we have 107 viewers right now. I appreciate that very much. People taking the time out of their day to take a listen. Anyway, I'm just doing the one thing that I've been doing ever since. This is how I got started. When I saw people in the street, when that orange orangutan got elected, and there were people in the street. There's more people today than I believe his inauguration day. Donnie, you dickwad. Anyway, that's what motivated me. I live way out in the country. I told y'all before, it's hard to go to a protest or something like that. And that's what motivated me. How can I raise my voice? How can I get involved in this? And this is a result. This is what I'm doing. I got angry, and I started getting mad, and I started jacking my jaw off, and this is what we resulted in. But it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm part of this resistance. And the family of Blue Dots that we have built is just heartwarming and amazing to me. We have some fantastic people. Who's over there? Donna Reed Turner. So proud of these kids. I am too, darling. It's going to go on all day, and it's going on all around the world. Last night, right before we went to bed, Mom and I were watching the protests in Australia in support of this March for Life. And March for Our Lives here in Washington today, they had their day early, I guess, over there. Time zone, day change, all that kind of stuff. But it's not just here. This blue wave, I still call it part of this blue wave. It's people demanding change for social justice, for a society that includes all of us. And it's not trying to make a plan here or a regulation there or dump something here to avoid giving what's rightfully to everybody. And believe me, there's some on the right that want to do that. Betsy DeVos and old Ben Carson, we was just talking about them, how they want to exclude certain people from social programs because of their religion. Theirs. Not yours, theirs. And that bothers me because there should be no discrimination in this country. No, I don't care what it is, whether your color, your creed, your sexual orientation, who you love, what you do with who. That's your business and nobody else's business. And we're slowly creeping in, but there's orangutan, orange orangutan. There's people that are just, you're going to have to drag them, kicking and screaming into this century and make things better. But if that's what it takes, kicking and screaming, well, that's what we have to do. And that's what this march is about today. That's what this whole movement is about today, is to drag those idiots out of the dark ages, because that's where they want to stay. You know, I was thinking this morning, that whole idea of the conversation came up about make America great again. That's what Donnie's thing is there, you know, and everybody thinks that's back in the 50s, but actually that's the 1950s TV version of America. You know, I Love Lucy and My Three Sons, or Father Knows Best, or all those kind of shows that were wholesome. Andy Griffith, you know, that was the I don't know, idealistic view of America that he wants to return to, but history shows us that it was not so pretty during that time. It was for some people, but not all of us, baby. And that was the problem with that. It's trying to go back to a society that never was. It was on TV. That's all it was. As a matter of fact, Andy Griffin, y'all might know, is my ringtone for my phone. The thought of that idyllic little town where nothing goes wrong, that is what we continue to strive for. I told people before that my son likes to watch them. I like to watch them, those futuristic TV shows, you know, we're in space 2,000 years from now or whatever we're doing. And you look around in those places like Star Trek or
which one? Star Wars?
Star Wars, I'm sorry. And there are people of different colors, creeds, and in those shows, hell, they're from different planets. And they all get along.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, there's still, I don't know, Klingons. There's I'm trying to reconnect. Darn it! Are we going to have trouble with our internet today? I'm trying to reconnect, baby. I am so sorry if this thing starts screwing up. Is somebody out there tell me what happened? Anyway, we're never going to get there as long as we have those Neanderthals that we got to drag, kicking and screaming. We're not going to reach that utopia of nice people working together to future our society in the space race or anywhere else until we change the societal thinking of how people get to those thoughts that they hate somebody because of the color of their skin or because of who they love or what they look like or how they dress or what gender they describe themselves as. That's all superfluous bullshit as far as you're concerned. It's none of your business what those people do. We should accept all of them for who they are. I seen Martin Luther King's Jr. great-granddaughter, maybe. I seen her up on the stage up there talking. And another generation of seeking the dream, and that this continuing story of ours, of our country, from the beginning to right now, is still a fight to get everybody in this country the same rights we all enjoy equally. And the fight continues. And as long as we're fighting, things are going to get better. It's when we give up that things backslide. And I don't know what happened after this last election. Some of us backslid, I guess, and didn't vote or some shit like that, or just got a lot of these Republicans that were borderline over there. This idiot came along, started preaching crap that oh, he speaks his mind. Yeah, he speaks like an idiot. And some of those people like that, they loved him for his television show or some shit like that, and they voted his ass in. But I don't think he's going to last much longer. I really don't. Oh, well. Anyway, hey, Donna Bonacosi, I'm glad to see you back, darling. Your comment just went up out of the thing, but I know you're there. And Joe Riddle's let me know that y'all still see me. I do like this live because it's just pretty neat. It's live. It's live from Saturday near Bluntzer, Texas. And I don't know. Anyway, what else did I have written down there? Have y'all Jim Carrey's painting sure have gotten a bit of notoriety here lately? His latest one is Jared Kushner painted as the devil. I believe that's pretty well correct right there. Who's the bigger devil, Jared or Donnie, or maybe the devil's a woman and it's Ivanka? Who knows? They're all about the same kind of people, and they're all in there just to do one thing: line their pockets, pay off their debts, whatever they can do. That's what Jared's doing. He's trying to dig his ass out of a financial hole after his daddy gave him billions of money. Anyway, what else is going on? There was a picture. Did y'all see the picture that Stormy Daniels' lawyer put out? It's just a photograph of a CD, of a disc, a video disc. So now we know. Oh my God, there's a video. Yep, one of these days you're just going to be able to pull it right up off the internet there and see number 45 bouncing his flabby butt around.
No fucking thank you.
No, it puts a very bad picture in my mind, but we know it's there. And you know, so, inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds don't want to see it, but they want to see it just to know. Oh, that's something. I'm not particularly fond of it, but the guy did allude to the fact that there may be more than that on that video, on that disc. He said a lot of insinuating that she has been threatened and whatnot, coerced. And some of that might be on the tape. I wouldn't put past them to have a little video or a little microphone going when one of these assholes come along and tried to tell her something mean. And they got that on tape. So this snowball could just keep right on going with Stormy Daniels. I'm glad to see that McCabe came out and did a little talking about how mistreated he was right before the and he still stands by that he's innocent of those charges, and he believes what he did, he had the proper authority to do as deputy director of the FBI. And you know, when Comey was fired, McCabe came out in support of Comey, so that pissed Donnie off, and that's all this shit was. And Jeff Sessions, the elf on the shelf, did Donnie's dirty work, and I don't know, but shows you how much courage that Jeff Sessions got. He should have remained a senator. He shouldn't have gone back to being taking over the Department of Justice. I'm sorry, people. I was trying to get a thought going, and because there was something on my mind. I know that yesterday there was a terrorist attack in France, in Travis, France, and a guy named Arnaud Beltram. I just wanted to remember his name. He's a police officer, and he volunteered to take the place of a hostage that these idiots had in a grocery store, I understand. And it cost that officer his life. He paid the price for that swap, but he did it voluntarily, and no greater price, I'm telling you. So that man's a hero, and it's sad to see that it ended that way. But that's what this whole thing is about with the kids today all over the world. It's this sick love affair that especially this country has with guns in the Second Amendment, and their right to do this and their right to do that. And these kids are standing up saying they have a right to live. And I stand with them so much out there. I'm just so proud of them. Anyway, what else is going on? Eva Adams don't ever want to see it. No. I know what you mean. You don't even want to think about it, much less see it. but we want to know if it's, I want somebody else to verify and come back and tell me, yep, that's him. Okay. I don't need to see it to make my mind up. Christopher Baker. Oh, Lord, just as soon as I said your name, buddy, that comment went right out of my sight. Jay Stoker, there are some things that we could never unsee. I know it once you've seen that, oh, Lord, it's just like,
Trying to keep up over here is difficult.
It's hard to. Robert Music. The GOP sucks, buddy. I agree with you 100%. I keep trying to preach that. The GOP has strayed from its way. It's not the same GOP it was years past. I swear Barry Goldwater was the last real Republican there was. After that, Ronnie Reagan came in, and he's a great actor, buddy, and that's exactly what he did. The first thing he did was trade weapons for hostages. That was the very first thing that Ronald Reagan did when he took office. That's how we got those hostages out of Iran so quick. When it wasn't because they were scared. No, that's the story that Reagan tried to sell back then. No, there was a deal made. And who was it that made that deal? Oh, he ended up becoming vice president for Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney made that deal with the Iranians to go swap the weapons and all that shit. And then we ended up with the Iran-Contra thing. But back when Reagan was in, that's when government bad, that thought process started in the Republican Party that government is not the answer to everything, and it's not. But a good government can go a whole long way on furthering the good for the people than anything else. So good government is what we need. And but with Ronnie Reagan came the religious right, got into the picture back then, and started pushing their agenda, which used to be morals, used to be family values and all that shit. All that went out the window with Donnie, though, because we don't have any of that anymore. Are you shitting me? That man is about as immoral as anybody else. He's a thief. He's a liar. He continues to lie every day that man speaks. He's a lie. He's a walking, talking epitome of what a liar is. And that's the man that sits in our house. And now we're going to have to put up with videotapes and pictures and messages that Donnie sent and all of that. And like I said, that's a sideshow. That's the fun part of watching all this that we can make fun of, where the real deal is the money that was paid trying to silence people right before his election because he didn't want those followers. Now, I don't know why, because like it would have made a rat's ass to a bit of one of them. Remember, this is the guy that said he'd stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, he wouldn't lose a vote. And he was right, because those fanatics were following him. So, yeah, do they care whether or not how many porn stars he slept with? Not a bit, baby. As far as they're concerned, that's just good old boy shit. And that's the way they'll treat. He gets a mulligan for that from Jesus, That's what the evangelicals say. But we moved from Ronald Reagan to what we got now. Slowly watching the right just go farther and farther into the ditch. They do not want to negotiate a single bill or anything on the floor. They just want to. I bet the Freedom Caucus is a little pissed off at Donnie. I remember that now because they're all mad. A lot of Republicans are mad because Donnie signed that $1.3 trillion budget paper yesterday. And some of them Republicans, them conservative Republicans, them fiscally responsive, they're all upset with Donnie for signing such a big thing, but he sold it because it was a $700 billion donut to the industrial defense industry. And that's what it was. He keeps saying it was for our military. No, it's for defense contractors. I wish it was for our military. I wish that money would go to those members in the military and to make their life better and to give them better military housing and other things that they could use. But no, we're talking about a future plane that we're going to think about flying here in another 50 years. Or another big aircraft carrier or some other bullshit that we need. That we're already the most powerful military in the world by far, but no comparison. I don't care what kind of shit Donnie tries to sell you. Or what Booty's trying to sell with, we have a new missile that'll crawl up your ass. I don't think so. I really don't. And they're blowing smoke up there, trying to get Donnie and them. Let's get into an arms race. Let's talk about an arms race so we can. We took half of that money that we give the military and would still have plenty of money for the military. Not for the defense contractors with all the bullshit they got. The military. And then we could still use that other money on things like infrastructure, on things like social programs to help our kids, our future voters, and the future inhabitants of this planet. Who was that talking the other night? It might have been Bill Maher. I don't know. I can't remember right now. But they were talking about the environment and how everything is going downhill. I'm sitting here trying to remember the conversation, who it was with, and it's failing me right now. But I just remember the conversation. If that's the peril, with the EPA being attacked the way it is, and Pruitt out to destroy everything the EPA ever stood for, then that's a great concern to all of us, and it should be. It's the only planet we got. I know there's a lot of hope for Mars and other planets, but we're not going to get there. Our kids are not going to get there. Chances are their kids might not get there. But if we stop trying, we'll never get there. So, yeah, I'm all for that. We need to explore the planets and find life out there, baby, because I believe there is, and I guarantee it. It's 100% mathematical probability that there is life on other planets. And I preach this all the time. Well, no, Johnny, you're 1 in a billion. Okay, fine. There's a billion planets out there. That means one. Are there 2 billion? Hell yeah, there are. Are there 500 billion? Are you kidding me? There's trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions. Because space is infinite. And if those numbers keep going well, then that little 1% down there just grows right on up to 100% chance that within that number there's going to be alien life. And we've already seen promise of that. So, there's going to have to be some juggling of the old theological stuff there. When that, life on another planet. Oh, shit, what happened? Well, Jesus said he went over. I don't know. They'll come up with something, I'm sure. Anyway, how long we been going here? 27 minutes. How about that stuff? Not as long as a regular old rant. Greg Talbot, I see you out there, buddy. Hey, I've reached out to my bud, right-wing friends, and totally silent. Feels so good, doesn't it, Greg? I don't get challenged a whole lot. Anybody that speaks to me around here tries to keep themselves in a conversation well away from politics. Because if we go in that direction, well, I'm loaded for bear, baby. I'm ready to talk. And so anybody I'm around here, they normally, how you doing, John? If they say anything at all. But I don't speak to too many of my neighbors. We just kind of all keep to ourselves out here, and that's just fine with me. Terry Hawkins. Now we have, Bolton. John Bolton. Are you shitting me? I swear that little scenario right there is enough to give you pause, because that man he's a walking, talking promoter of war, and he thinks war is the answer to everything. So John Bolton is a big problem, and he's going to be right in Donnie's ear, telling Donnie exactly what he wants to hear. You're right. He's a warmonger, and as national security advisor. Ain't that some shit? He's reaching right over to Fox News. That's what he's doing. I don't know. They got a weather girl over there that's going to run the National Weather Service for us or something like that. I would not put it past anybody coming up there. Hello, Candy. No, Donna. Tiffany told just science and facts. They get in the way of everything else, don't they? Every time. That's how come Donnie doesn't want the EPA using those 7 words, science-based, all that kind of stuff we talked about before, because they don't want you knowing anything. They don't want any information out there that anybody already know, and they're hoping like hell you forget what the air smells like, or the water tastes like, or what it looks like, or anything else, because they're out to pour sludge in it. Kathy Larkin, hey, darling, how you doing? Emma stood on the stage to show what it was like after shooting. Yes, it was. That's the moment I was talking about. 6 minutes, 20 seconds. Emma Gonzalez stood up there. Kathy, I almost looked. I'm going to be on Tim's show tomorrow. I looked on there to see if he was going to be. Sometimes me and Kathy are on the Tim Cormal show together, and it's always good to chat with Kathy. There's several of our friends that I've had part of our Blue Dot family that I've had an opportunity to talk with. Either they reached out to me or I reached out to them. So you never know. One of these days you might get a phone call from some old boy going, who is this? It'll be me. But anyway, Tom Walls, I see you. Talk politics. Yeah, that's right, buddy. I hope Huckleberry's fine. I hope it made it into the living room. Y'all put a pillow on that little baby and let her sleep. Tom Walls has got a collection of motorcycles I just hate him for. Huckabee is one that he's got a nice raked front end. It's a really pretty looking bike. I hope your hand is better. That's a true man right there. He was trying to move the Harley into the house, and it fell. And Tom injured his hand reaching out to grab the bike to save the bike from getting scratched. Good man, Tom. And that's what you're supposed to do. Don't get a scratch on your bike now. I know.
Priorities.
No, that's right. Priorities in life. Your hand or that bike, buddy. For me, it would be the bike. Hand, we could put a stitch in. You ain't going to get a chance to have a bike like that. He's got a nice collection. So, Tom, he's up in Montana, the Blue Dot in Montana. We're proud to have him on here all the time, and he's always posting stuff. A lot of pictures that just piss me off. But I like the guy. Stay in the wind, buddy. Stay in the wind. Spring is coming, and that's what Huckleberry's getting ready for. He's going to get out and ride. And there ain't a finer place up there in that big sky country up there to ride around. Mom and I were on our way to Sturgis. We were in Rapid City, South Dakota on 9/11. And right after that, it's when we turned around and came home. And rethought our trip and everything like that. But we had a fine time up there, and the country is just gorgeous up there. Big sky country, they call it, and I can see why. And hey, Karen Cormier. I don't know how to pronounce a lot of these names. And are there any marches? Not in Corpus. I didn't see a single march around here. I would have to drive up to San Antonio or Austin to get into a march. I wish I could. What is today? The 20. It's the 24 days before payday. That's what day it is. There's a lot of month left at the end of the money, people. I'm telling you. I get paid once a month, and you got to make that stretch out. So by the end of the money, there's still a month left. So no, we're kind of limited on where I'm going right now. But it's no more than what everybody else out here goes through every day. And that's how come we fight harder. We fight harder because we have to fight for everything we got anyway. And while we watch others just slide by and without an effort and just collect big old fat paychecks. Anyway, that's just life the way it is. Not all of us can be rich and famous. And I'm starting to lose my signal. I see that cutting out a few times there. Anyway, I wanted to just pop in today because, like I said, I was just so proud of the kids out in the street, all the people out in the street, whether it be in the United States or Great Britain or France, all over the world, that these people are marching. And it's in support of those same kids from Parkland, Florida. And it's like I said, it's just part of this continuing blue wave that we're building every day. And the more we can raise that tide, the better it's going to be, baby, because we need to wash it all over the place. And anyway, I'm running out of gas, baby. Let me see. Anita Lemire, vote blue, baby. I see you. That's what this is all about. If you're an informed voter, you're going to vote blue. And that's just the way intelligent people are going to do. And they won't be suckered in by bullshit that the right's trying to sell. Anyway, I'm going to let you all go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. It's a beautiful day down here in South Texas. The sun is out. And let me see. We got to go pick up Rose at worker a little while ago. Tyler T is over here visiting. We're going to run him back to Portland. He has to go back to work tomorrow, Sunday. And so we got to run him back to Portland. We're going to try to make it all in one sweep so we can save on that gasoline because it's going to be a round trip. But anyway, I'm just so glad. I thank y'all so much for tuning in and giving an ear out and being supportive of these kids. It's the most important thing we can do now for our country is to keep them and the other movements combined to keep this wave pushing. And I'm really confident of the outcome that we're going to have in November. Texas, we got a special a runoff election coming up, May 22nd, I think it is. Eric Olguin is in a runoff for the Congress down here in the 27th district. So we're pushing Eric to be our next congressman down here after old Blakey boy gets his butt out of there. He should have resigned when he ain't paid back the money yet. Just letting y'all know, Blake Farenthold ain't gave a dime of that money that they took to pay off that woman back when he said, oh yeah, I'm going to pay back the people. No, he's not. He's a lying piece of shit that's just going to put it in his pocket and go on about his business. He knows he ain't coming back, so what does he care? Anyway, I want integrity in my house, and I believe Eric Olgain will be good doing that for us. Beto O'Rourke will do it for the state leveled up there and kick Ted Cruz's ass. I saw that picture of Ted Cruz in the airport. Some woman trolled him having a badge.
I saw that shit,
yeah, that was pretty
best.
good. It says Texas can't stand a guy like Cruz in Texas. I can't remember the exact wording, but right there on the front of her tag, standing there with Ted Cruz getting a hug, and the sign says Texas doesn't like Ted Cruz. Nobody likes Ted Cruz. If you ever listen to news, they start talking about Ted Cruz. Everybody in the Senate hates Ted Cruz. He's a disgusting sleazeball used car salesman. That's all he is. He'll sell his soul to the devil while he looks at you with them eyes. Like, I don't know where them eyes came from. I don't know where that face come from. But wherever it came from, I wish it would go back because it doesn't belong in Texas, and we want his ass out of here. So go Beto O'Rourke. You're doing a great job. And we have great candidates down here in Texas. Mr. Newsom out in California, just to recall my memory, yes, I'm very familiar with him. That guy could run for president. That guy could run for president, and he'd pretty much get my vote. I like the way that guy talks. I saw him on Bill Maher the last time, and it slipped my mind who it was when I got caught with that yesterday. Anyway, now I'm just rambling on. I'm going to say goodbye to y'all. Take care, Myra Estonia, and Janda Schindler, and Cheryl, or some of the names. And it doesn't help when your eyesight isn't that good, so it's a little blurry down there anyway. Y'all have a good day, and we'll see you Monday. Tomorrow I'm going to be on the Tim Cormall Show, so I'll be busy tomorrow, and I'll do my rant on Monday. So we'll see y'all then. Bye now.